Today we completed chapter 18, which clearly shows the difference between the Madhyamaka Svatantrika and the Madhyamaka Prasangika. The Prasangika believes that things come into existence merely by nominal designation. The Autonomy school, or the Svatantrika, believes that things come into existence conventionally having intrinsic existence coupled with nominal designation. That's decent.
Yeah. I'm going to learn Chenmo. Chebe Chungu Lang, Ding Lang, Chebe Chimbi Lang Sung Je. That Chebe Chungu Lang, the La, John to the Lende. Then Chebe Ding Lang, Taba Sung, Chebe Chimbi Lang, Shanju, and the Shinju. Tell her ten Sanjib too. What to say about it?
So once again, we're looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment. For people following along, we're going to begin on chapter 18, page 224-25 is where the starting point will be for today. And the subject matter of the text is the summary of all of Lord Buddha's teachings by putting them into three major headings. And these are called the teachings for beings of three capacities, beginning with the teachings shared in common with beings of small capacity that lead to the higher realms of cyclic existence. A practitioner goes for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, engages in ethics that abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities, acknowledges downfalls and independence upon those practices, is able to achieve higher realm rebirth. The next level, the teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity, are for people who want to achieve an individual liberation or nirvana. This practitioner practices the three highest higher trainings of ethics, concentration, and wisdom. In independence upon these three highest higher trainings, he or she is able to achieve their own individual liberation or nirvana. And finally, the last category, the teachings for beings of great capacity, are for beings who wish to achieve Buddhahood. And this practitioner engages in all of the previous mentioned teachings of the small and medium capacity, and then couples them with bodhicitta, or the mind that aspires to enlightenment, and then from that mind practices the six perfections. And that allows him or her to achieve the complete state of Buddhahood. Disa.
Tarangi dun ngozwa da teni so jesu ndane tawa jula chebo tambo ne lemen sanji jangji deba tanju da raju ni so shene tanju debi seka ne mela wenja dale mai Yele me, nile mai, jume me, ngobo kanda kana ya, chewa na ya yo mai, shebe, deban zeba na, jenlu la, nyeji jebe gune, chewa jikaba zeto. Tela, luben le denji je, ne, ranshu, droba dan, jenshu sun jeba kanke ya, neba mebe jun gune, sun shungwa. Tetabi jun de sanji jang je lola manjuba sanji jang je lola manjubi jusen jeba deba na lubun da tabe ne paru bola omabe umi tawa jula jebi tazo tanju shaguje ranju mete do she gaban zene tanjuji shu sewa zedo tenda yu tarani ji ju la ni ne yelo gaba da ralo jaba wo tambu la ni doba joba da te gaba wo tambu ne Tanju Ranju la Jutsu Tomashi Tamu Wenjang Tata Tanju Sushiki Shebanu Tishir Tata Le Kanji Juba Shawo Tala Za Andan Tata Mate Jubiran Deshile Tela Angajine Tela Kete Tanjuru Tensi so Duna Tetseme Juba Yina Wente Maduba Yin Tela Kete Shu Tambutana Thesis Nyeka Langa Juba Yinbe Geshe Lharampa She Jetaju Shuniba Tana Geshe Lharampa Meba Ni Yinbe Geshe Lharampa She Jetaju Chena Tela Len Seme Juba Kanyimba Tenye Kala Juba Yino She Tenye Ku Meshiba said Dadar Gu Ruji Kubi Duna Tensi Kubate Tensi Kubatela Seme Druba Yin Jijala Seme Jijala Ku da Gu Ruji Guna Kubi Duna Tensi Kubate Seme Druba Yin Jela Seme Drubate Chetar Shede Chetar Jenji Senji Cheba Ngonsung Jeba Shui Mahimbi Shiro Rani Dala Seme Druba Chetar Shede Chubi Jusen Che Durinbune Zon Yushir Lua Sebi So Tishir Goa Dan Shigoa Dagi Tsamani Do Kelambu Toji Mabu Tanji Rajin Kelamba Yino Tena Jenji Kelambu Gune Jenji Shu
Sunjinba
Jenji Shu Gaba Sunjinba Yino She Sede Shigula
that's
Ta
Senjuba.
Tseme Druba Shigula Ta Tseme Drumaru Haguji Mishite Di Samba de Haguji Tsema Niji Mandu Beso Rangi Ta Jan Ta Tseme Druba Mishite Rangi Tseme Druba Ta Jejang Lua Sebi So Tishir Nika La Tseme Druba Ta Mebe Tsema Ke Lamba La Tobe Na Tseme Madu Jang Ke Lambi Gune Sunjiba Teba Yino She Chedo Yang Teni Le Yen Yang Ranjaji Tensi Ranjuji Tensi Ji Shula Kete Tensi Tateba Tensi Dan Druba Shawa Dala Tseme Chaba Tuna Thesis Ranjuji Ruji Do Joa Yin La Wenjang Chaba Madute Deta Chaba Druba Shebi Tsemane Ngonsung Mo Jeba Yino Tela Ne Reji Ngonsung Ji Chaba Madute Deta Tsema Modo Ngonsung Dan Memiba Dagi Medan Toa Tala De Yuebe De Mena the man she mena munyo to bena munyo to je le yu tangje na yeba tala maino jesu baba le jang maide tala yu ngeba jen yimbe so dada jesu babi yu ne tangje maide kangi shir kana drubara shawa na dreba ta yueba de kona matabala soba sheba jewa jowa yinje yu dang du tangje do maino tena jidenbe kelamba tangje gune chaba droba yinje tsama mayin be tanju ji tenzi je yen ji shu sun jin ba jeta mari sheba wo she doa yueba la me yueba na sheba la mata be chaba tseme zhu na rangju te jang mundu de tseme zhu na ne yu du tangji ji doa dang sheba la me yu dang tuye ji chaba zhu goba la chaba de zhu ba ngonsung dang jeba kangi tsamo dang gombi ting dang do zhu bi na nitsuwa mayimbi shiro de na chaba ke langba dang ji zhu goba yinong shi sida dene chusung tseme zhubi daji me na rangju dang chusung ba ke lang ji tato ba dang ji she na ne tanju do doba nango pendada di loma lodawa da jang deke do oma bala rangjen jin doba goba dang madu bi rangi dang jawa 매진 최진 라소바 니가 잡이 도모와 마주비 라주바 메테도 리베 나바라 쮸비 데보야 젠지 주다 도와 장시 인라 텔레 젠비 란데 매베 rangju ji tenzi na naba tangje do jeba majawo de na tanju kona yin la tela drubi tanju ne rangju ji tatu be sunji ji tawa kona wo de ya ta dang chaba 니가 켈랑비 타토바 타와 임베 야다비 tsama 마이노 틴달라 데네 젠지 켈라나 저바주바네 지 군네셰도 들라 겨와주바네 탄주네 파르지 제와 nyeji dang, toji dwejin, dajin dweba la, dali jina, yueba jiwa dwemen dang, tumen dweyu, nyeji dang, toji dweba jirina, mirina, tirin dwena, dali jiwa deba mariso shi gendu jeba na paribu tere she ne ruta doa tangji debu jeno jenra ji jeba ne dale jewa jebi nyego dale jewa mede rangi Dani
Then you do yobi Chiro.
Daniele, Joe Mabanido, Ubishiro, Xie Yela, Trabi, Chujin Dan, Dala Soba, June, Parubula, Gobawo, Dale, Joa Men, de Xie, Dayujan, Yenji, Daji, Gobatan Yinji, Rangi, Dale, Joa, Meba, Marube, Tanja Mendo, Doji, Dan, Sombana, Parubu, Rangi, Shudruba, Shido, Vata Kangoba, Tanji, Hamadan Rawa, Maruba, Joao, Jusen Tombe, Gonyone, De Kel Lena, De Kele, she, Cheba Maybe, Gonyoba, Ona, Chula, Parubu, Kelen Gundu, Yena, Tani, Tanja Yembe, Tedrubi, Ranjuji, Ta Yuba, Juro, Mena, Yenji, Kelamba Gobi, Zebe, Juba Mate Dushena, Dontala, Jubi, Kozo, Ranji Meba, Joa Meba, Shebe, Dujan Dona, Ranjuji, Tanja Dan, Tan de Gobale, Te Mendobe Jumedo, Deba Yoba Tanja Yona, Tanji Yoba, Juro She Chedo, Den Ranjula, Shudruba Manjan, Yenshu Goba Tanji, Deba Yujan, Tanja Meba Dan Ranshu, Meba, Don Tambala Jubi, Koso, Ranji Meba La Subi, Tanja, Mongobala Sheji, Kelamba Kanyin Tanji, Meba Mendoba Yimbe, Don Tambala Jubi Koso, Ranji Mebi, Druja, Kelan, Te Ranlus Juba, Ranju Badan, Te Dara Ke Melemba, Deba, Goba Tan Sheba Ne, Tanjua, Sheba Tango, Tata Umaba, Tanjua Deba Taki, Don Tambatan, Tanyeba, Tanjela, Zambi Kelen, Tanya Doyan, Lola Mende Kede, Tenda Yu, Tanja Yu Na, Teduji Petan, Dajan, Dogobala, Tetana, Ranju Banjoro, Tena, Tanjua La, Ranlu, Kanya, Mende, Tundule, Kede Ngetan, Jenga Yu, Tela Chunde Yu, Ngala Tanja Mebe Na, Ngala Chunde Yu Ma Yume Gona Yin, Kede, Ngonsun La Soba, Tunji Gaji, Mina Ne, Druba Wan, Doba Sanate, Meshe, Tela Lenga Me, Che Dan, Zeba, Trujuba Lejan, Che Dani, Shete Da, Tanji Shute, Tuba Me, Ne Gana, Tela, Shumeba Tela, Jenshu Kalayu, Che Dan, Jijabale Jan, Yoda Medan, Yume Je, Kala Shune, Yume Na, Tela, Yune Rimbu Na, Lenga Juba Numayin, She Umabala, Shudan, Tanja Meba, Sobi Shiro, Tise Lejan, Umabayina, Rangi, Juji, Ranju, Babara Shawa, Ribayang Mayin De, Shujin Kelamba Mebisher, Chishe Dan, 탄조 누바 탄조 누비 된다야 파르버니 저인지 고자는 많이데 란라 단자와 매비셔 셰당 주발레장 선진배선 용자 마트 선에 제제당原的 트네 진시 세진 예바다 강라와 네바 슈들라 들은주제 달라 슈네 유메나 달라 슈네 달라 슈드네 달라 슈드네 예바 메베 타완조와 드네 시마이 시 랑라 슈 메베 쯤은주바 송비시로 대나 나자 타지 라네 오마베 젠지 모노셰바 자바 탄지 주발레 탄데 주발레 제달 영화 원도 달 공주잖아 다기 케마나 제시 다다 매장 매도 외장 매도 다다 매장 외도시 지된 뭐시 다네 황시 셰송 전도 레장 네 가자제양 매베나 나는 제양 먹고 대신 고바 셰도시 네 고아드네 최니 제 예수 가발라 매바 손비셔 마와셰도 마지 오마바 르벤 다유 제수 정바 베지 케바 카지기 다다도 오마발라 란루지 슈다 다다 로지지 참마 매반데비 로나 나버 선수네 라기로네 제베 나바제베 라기 체니지 제자라 세메나자 켈람베 뭐비 도슈지 참마 뭐지 니가라 까네 타녜도 마지 타녜도 마제베 니데베 자비 참마다 제자 켈란데 오마바 랑게 시골라 루비 나 끄베 고네 댄시 양다게 덴버 메비 드루바 셰도 다다양 라주바 마주 네 마체비 지네비 자비 고네 주비 쇼로 셰체도스 오 갈레준.
Okay. The Abbot gangen sine de leju sarpa gutsogdu.
Ja.
Nene de data yin. Okay, so just once again, we're starting on page 225. Just give me one moment. Whether to carry out the refutation with a Svatantrika procedure or with a Prasangika procedure. So just real quickly as a note, those are the two divisions of the middle way school. So the Madhyamaka school is divided into two categories, Madhyamaka Svatantrika and Madhyamaka Prasangika, the Prasangika being the highest school. Should you refute the object of negation with a Svatantrika procedure or with a Prasangika procedure? This has two parts. The meaning of Svatantrika and Prasangika is number one, and number two is which system to follow so as to develop the right philosophical view in your mind stream. The meaning of Svatantrika and Prasangika. It is not clear that the commentary of the Master Buddha Palita sets up a Prasangika system, distinguishing Prasangika from Svatantrika. Nonetheless, consider his commentary on the opening lines of the fundamental treatise. There is no sense in which anything has ever been produced either from itself, from something else, from both, or without a cause. Here he negates the four types of production by pointing out the faults of other systems. The master Baba Vega refutes him, claiming that Buddha Palita's arguments have no power to establish his own position or to repudiate the positions of others. Now that so Baba Vega is a holder of the Svatantrika view. Buddha Palita holds the Prasangika view. Have no power to establish his own position or to repudiate the positions of others. Now the master Chandra extensively comments on why Buddha Palita's own system does not suffer from such faults. In so doing, he states that Madhyamikas should employ reductio ad absurdum, the Prasangika arguments, not autonomous Svatantra arguments, as their method for instilling the Madhyamaka view in others. In this way, Chandrakirti elucidates the Prasangika position through a refutation of autonomous argument. This section on how to posit such a Svatantrika Prasangika distinction has two parts: the refutation of others' positions to setting forth our own positions. The refutation of others' positions, stating what others believe, stating those positions. What others believe. There have been many ways of defining reductio arguments and autonomous arguments. Who could explain all of them? That is why I focus on who could explain all of them? That's why I focus only on a few of them. The first, misinterpretation. Jayananda advocates the following position in his explanation of Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way. The Madhyamika Avatara Tika, he says, question, if you consider reductio ad absurdum argument to be a syllogistic reasoning, then does valid cognition establish it? If so, then it would be established for both parties, so how can you say that it is what the other party asserts? If not, then since it would be inappropriate for the other party to assert what is not established, how can they say that it is what the other party asserts? Some might answer, so if someone who has a wrong view, if both parties don't see through valid cognition the nature of reality, then it can't be correct, because both are trying to apprehension through valid cognition is how we decide whether something is correct or not. So it's saying, if both parties don't see this, then how can it be correct? If valid cognition is something that we have in order to understand something correctly. Some might answer, whatever valid cognition establishes is established from both sides, but that is precisely what we do not know. When one party posits something as a probative reason, even though, is it probative or probative? I think it's probative reason. Even though valid cognition may establish it for the one who posits the syllogism, how can that person be certain that valid cognition establishes it for the other party? After all, the particulars of the other party's mind are objects of neither perception nor inference. And how can you be certain that valid cognition establishes it even for yourself? For if it is possible that you could be deceived, inasmuch as you have been under the influence of error for an exceedingly long time. Therefore, I accept the nature of things on the strength of both the proponent and opponent of accepting such as valid. Hence, I refute the positions of others in terms of their own assertions. The proponent of any syllogism does not know whether the opponents have established the reasoning for themselves by means of valid cognition. This is because neither of the two types of valid cognition, valid sense-type cognition and valid cognition based on a reason, give the proponent access to what the opponent is thinking. You cannot be certain that valid cognition establishes the reason even by yourself, for even when you determine that you have established it by valid cognition, it is possible that you have been deceived. Therefore, since there are no validly established reasons, the debate is founded on what the parties accept as valid. Hence, it is proper to refute the opponents in terms of what they accept, even though valid cognition does not establish anything from either party. This is how he explains it. And again, the same explanation of Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way continues. According to the partisans of autonomous reasoning, what makes something an autonomous probative reason is that valid cognition establishes the provision between the reason and the probendum. Yet that provision is not established. A valid cognition that establishes a provision is either a perception or an inference. Let us take them one at a time. I wish I could look at the Tibetan at the same time. That's all right. A perception cannot establish the pervasion. Through what is perceived and what is not perceived, you can know that there is a necessary conditional relationship between fire and smoke in a kitchen, so that if one exists, the other will also, and if one does not exist, neither will the other. However, you cannot deduce the existence of fire from the existence of smoke in all places. Nor can you use inference to establish the pervasion, for that too is limited to certain domains. The domain inference is not universal, because knowledge that something is impermanent, for example, will arise only when there is a reason related to the probendum and not in all places and times. Therefore, the pervasion is established only by way of what the world accepts and not by means of a valid cognition. Hence, how can it be wrong to use reductio syllogistic reasoning to refute the opposition? So, as a translator's note, most of the other schools say that you can use a syllogism to prove something, and the middle way consequence school states that you merely have to state a consequence to the person's logic or mistaken view. So you show them the consequence. So for instance, as a translator's note, if you said all colors are red, then I say, okay, yellow's red. That's the consequence of the statement that all colors are red. That means that then yellow's red. So according to the consequence school, that's all you need to do to bring somebody's mind to a correct view, is just to reduce them to ad absurdum, to an absurd place that shows them, disproves what they think. So that's what the consequence school says. Other schools say you need a complete, oh, the subject A is this because of that. The consequence school says you merely need to say, oh, all colors are red? Oh, yellow's red? So you don't nearly have to say, oh, yellow's red? Okay, so that's what the meaning is of that. Where am I, real quick? Someone? What page? Oh, I'm in the right place. So if valid cognitions did establish pervasion, such as the presence of fire wherever there is smoke, or the impermanence of all that is produced, then autonomous arguments would be acceptable, but they do not. If valid cognition established pervasions, then the pervasions concerning the existence of fire wherever there is smoke and impermanence where there is production would have to be established in all times and places. However, since perception and inference establish those pervasions only in relation to certain domains such as kitchens and pots, the scope of those pervasions is limited. Therefore, mere acceptance and not valid cognition must establish even the pervasions. This is why Jayananda says, this is what Jayananda says. Evidently, he believes that if a proof uses a reason for which valid cognition has established the three criteria, then it is an autonomous argument. If a proof is made just on the basis of the parties accepting the fulfillment of the three criteria, then it is a reductio argument. The second misinterpretation. Some translators, students of the scholar Jayananda, argue as follows. Madhyamikas have no thesis of their own. They only refute what others believe. Since the elements of a syllogism, such as the subject, are not agreed upon, that is accepted by both parties, autonomous arguments are not tenable. The only result of reasoned analysis is that others give up their tenets. Apart from this, since Madhyamikas have no beliefs of their own, the autonomous syllogism should not be used under any circumstances. Therefore, only reductio arguments are permissible. Indeed, since these reductio arguments, which establish a positive position, ultimately derive from autonomous syllogisms, only reductios that negate the position of opponents are permissible. Since this latter type of reductio is a reductio in which both the reason and the pervasion are merely accepted by both parties or derived from the mere assertions of both of the parties, correct valid cognition does not establish the reason and pervasion. It is based on such a reductio that they eliminate the claims of elaborations of others, and they do this with four types of arguments. Of these, the reductio argument expressing a contradiction works in the following way. The opponents accept that production, for example, is purposeful and finite. And they also believe that things are produced from themselves. But if a thing is produced from itself, since that would mean that something that already exists is being produced, production would be purposeless and endless, and would be incorrect to hold that it is purposeful and finite. If they accept that, then it would be incorrect for them to accept that things are produced from themselves. Then when the contradictions are assembled in this way, the only result is that the opponents understand them and abandon this tenet. Inference based on what others accept refutes the opponent using a subject, a reason, and so forth that are accepted by that opponent. For example, the seedling that you accept as produced from itself is not produced from itself because it is own very self. It is its own very self. Even though the Madhyamaka state that it is not produced from itself, this is merely a refutation of the other's claim that things arise from themselves. It does not establish for the Madhyamakas themselves the non-existence of production from self, and hence the Madhyamakas have no thesis. Theses? Is it supposed to say thesis? Theses. Is that the correct word? Yes. Theses. Wow, there's no I? Okay. The argument called Theses. Thank you. The argument called the similarity of probative reason and probendum involves showing how none of the examples or signs that the opponents state in order to prove their position can be proven relevant to that position. The argument from the parallelism of similar reasons involves parallelism between indistinguishable reasons, such that if you accept one, you accept the other. Objection. Well then, do you or do you not believe such refutations of what the opponent accepts? If you do, then that in itself constitutes your thesis, and there would be an autonomous reason providing that position. If you do not, it is pointless for you to give arguments that refute what the other party accepts. Reply by the followers of Jayananda. When you analyze the ultimate, if you accept a predicate such as lacks intrinsic existence or is not produced, then you have to accept autonomous theses and reasons. However, since we do not accept such predicates, we have no fault. If simply believing something means that you have a thesis, then everyone would have theses about everything. That is how the followers of Jayananda explain their position. Evidently, they believe that even though they have nothing to prove from their own side, they can merely refute others' positions, that even though they have beliefs, they have no theses, and that they have no position of their own, avoiding theses such as the absence of intrinsic existence when analyzing the ultimate. Apparently, they consider as Svatantrikas those who do not believe that there is nothing at all that can be asserted, and who therefore, when analyzing the ultimate, assert the predicate lacks intrinsic nature, and establish that as their own position. Those who do not assert such predicates, but engage only in the refutation of what others accept, they consider prasangikas, the third misinterpretation. So these are all wrong. According to those who today consider themselves prasangika madhyamakas, there is nothing to accept even conventionally in one's own system, neither as regards to the ultimate nor as regards to the conventional. If you have such a thesis, then you have to accept the examples and reasons that prove it, and in that case you are a Svatantrika. Therefore, prasangikas have no system of their own at all. For Nagarjuna's refutation of objection states, if I had any thesis, then I would suffer from that fault. But if I have no thesis, I alone am without faults. If sensory perception and so forth could actually perceive something, there would be something to prove or to refute. But as they do not, I cannot be faulted. As Nagarjuna's 60 stanzas of reasoning says, Mahatmas have no positions. They have no arguments. How can those who have no positions themselves have positions vis-a-vis others? Also, Aryadeva's 400 verses says, no matter how long you try, you can never rebut those who have no position in regard to existence, non-existence, or both. All of those who are sources showing that a Madhyamaka's all of those are sources showing that a Madhyamaka has no position or thesis. The clear word states, if you are a Madhyamaka, it is not right to make an autonomous argument, for we do not accept the positions of others. Also, the opposite of the absurd consequence in a reductio pertains to the opponent, but not to ourselves, for we have no theses. And Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way states, does a refutation work to refute by contacting what it refutes, or does it refute without making contact? This is a problem. This problem is inevitable for those who have positions. But since I do not, this reductio argument does not apply to me. These passages state that because Madhyamikas have no position, those faults do not apply to them. Therefore, all Madhyamaka expositions are put forward only in terms of the perspective of the other party. For, as Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way states, while you accept real dependent entities, I do not accept them even conventionally. For effect, I say they exist even though they do not. Taking the perspective of the world, I speak of a self. What is more, Nagarjuna's refutation of objection says, since there is nothing to be refuted, I refute nothing. Therefore, in saying that I refute something, you insult me. So there is no such thing as even refuting some other position. That is what they say. The fourth misinterpretation. Some earlier Madhyamikas, Tibetan scholars who follow the master Chandrakirti, argue as follows. We completely reject these systems that claim that Madhyamikas have no positions of their own and no valid cognitions to establish them. Our own system is as follows. We refute both the perceptual and inferential valid cognitions based on real fact of those who put forward presentations of valid cognition and the objects it cognizes in terms of intrinsic character that can withstand rational analysis. Accepting conventionally, I lost it. I'll find it. Without analysis, the valid cognition and cognized objects familiar to the world, we Madhyamikas demonstrate that things lack true existence with sound reasoning by making a proof statement to the opponent. Even so, we are not Svatantrikas, for we posit the lack of true existence by means of valid cognitions that are familiar to the world, unanalyzed. Dison. The Rinpoche, Chishina Triwa, the Chiran Salon Garyube, this Sheda Kali Kapudu.
Okay. Ranju bata tanju sana. Ranju basana. And Chuna Luyong Paja, Yujun Tetuba, killing Uma Batala, Uma Ranju Bas.
Less so.
That Chuna Luyong Paja Tamatu Yung and Maruba, killing the Tajuas. Taranga Chava days.
So the difference between the Middle Way Autonomy School and the Middle Way Consequence School is as follows. The Middle Way Autonomy School believes that there is some autonomous thingness to an object that is then comes together with the consciousness of the person posing in it by way of them naming this thing. For instance, a car. Rinpoche just said a thing, so we're going to use a car. So Autonomy School believes that there is carness here, but it doesn't become a car until it's named a car. So the Autonomy School believes that there is not this intrinsic, there is not the Ranjupa Rinpoche, the Uma Ranjupa, the Gunzo Demba, the Rawanda Drupa.
Yes.
So they believe that conventionally there is intrinsic existence, according to the Autonomy School. The Prasangika School, or the Middle Way Consequence School, states there is no intrinsic existence conventionally or ultimately. And the reason that they say there is intrinsic existence conventionally is because there is some thingness there that then couples with the name that brings it into being. The Prasangika believes that there's merely a name, and that's just a collection that is suitable to be named as this or that, but it is no more than suitable to be named. It doesn't have any thingness to it, because something can be beautiful to one person and ugly to another. So there is no thingness. And that's why that's one of the consequences, refutations, is there is no thingness, because look, these two observations name it differently, and they are valid based on it being able to perform the function of whatever they're naming it, and they're two different things. So anyway, the Autonomy School believes that it takes both to bring it into being. The Consequence School believes that the power of the naming, of bringing it into being as this or that, is from the name side. It's not saying there isn't anything there. It's just saying that what's there only becomes a car when it's named that. And there isn't anything, any ness in it whatsoever other than the potential. It's just served, it's a potential, it's a suitable basis. Okay, questions. So we need the microphone. And what is your rap name going to be? Because I'd like to start introducing people as, all right, get on the mic, like that. So if you don't have to, but it's just what I'd like to do in the future, so I'd like everyone to think about it. I think it'll make it more entertaining. We'll hold the attention further. We'll go viral. I'm not going to swear. It's going to be conscious rap. Is everybody awake now?
I know this is maybe splitting hairs, but you just said that...
It's okay, so your name's Splitting Hairs. Splitting hairs, get on the mic. Okay.
All right.
That's not what you meant. All right.
No, that's all right.
Go
I
for
can
it.
Go with that. So the Madhyamika Consequence School, you said if it's named, it's named, so people think that
it takes a consciousness, a person naming
it's
a
suitable
basis.
to be named such and such because it performs a particular
something
function.
to that effect.
But does it, I mean, there's also other aspects of why we think things inherently exist, like you mentioned perception, like we like something, we don't like something, or we don't really feel one way or another about it. Doesn't that also, isn't that also part of this view or this philosophy? Or
Yes. Rinpoche. The me kashe the mota sheda ninjepo du. Me kashe the mota ninjepo yomare. Gangin sena the tomba. The dundan demba yomare. Gangin sena ninji yomare. The ninji yomare. Nicha yomare. Gangin sena dendel yimbecher. Demba madrupa yimbecher. The nyone.
Yes. Yeah.
So the me kashe tsampa nga nge the konsu dumba zepo du. Me kashe kon zepo yomare. The dumba zepo yomare nicha yomare. Gangin sena demba madrupa imbecher. So because so for instance, I'm going to say exactly what I said to Rinpoche, and then he just agreed. So for instance, some people would see my face and would say that's a nice, handsome face. Some people would see my face and say that's an ugly face. My face is neither handsome nor ugly because it's not truly established and merely dependently originates. And then when you're looking at the adjective, how is that adjective dependently originates? It's coming from your side naming it, a person naming it. And because two different people can name it two different things, it isn't beautiful or ugly, or handsome or ugly. It's empty of having any nature. The autonomy school would somehow say, and this is why they're wrong, there's some handsomeness. The Ranjupa, Rinpoche, the Ranjupa lenjap garre, the me kashe tsampa nge zepo du, me kashe nge zepo yomare. Then Ranjupa tsampa the nge dumba zepo yure. Then that's zepo yure. That's zepo yomare yure? Nicha yure? Ranjupa gari lenja.
Rajibi nyekalo tene rawan dubare lagare. Demo ma dubare.
Then yine the Gunzu Demba nge dumba zepo yomare. The rawan de drupa.
Nicha gunzu dembare. Rawan drupa, rajubi rawan drupa yinsugre. Tanju rawan ma drupa.
Then the Ranjupa sampa nge dumba nicha? Zepo dan zepo mayen nicha? Ranjupa sampa? Gangin sena the Ranjupa sampa the Gunzo rawan drupa yure. Gunzo demba rawan de drupa.
Rawan drupa yure.
Rawan drupa. Dene nge domba the Gunzo demba me kashe sampa zepo yomare. Dene the Ranjupa gari kelan zepo dan zepo mayen nicha?
Raju benze maje nisha rawan Truba yin la gre.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the autonomy school says when you say if it has some, does it have handsomeness or does it have ugliness? If they're saying it has to, Rinpoche is saying that the middle way autonomy school would say that yes, you have some ness there of ugly and some ness of handsome and some ness. So when we say it's able to perform the function, it's even more subtle than that. Because that, if we were saying that we name it this because it's able to perform the function of that,
Right.
you got to be careful because then it's kind of saying it has some thingness. It performs that function. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm just saying that that when I use that as my way of explaining it, it's so that like you can't say that if the whole world agrees that this is for instance, this is a dog, you can't say that's a human being because I named it that. That's an incorrect. That's not valid cognition. Even in the world of conventional or ultimate truth, that's incorrect valid cognition altogether. So there is some suitability there, but it doesn't have it's subtle in some subtler way,
Okay, yeah.
because you can't just
difficult
name
to
anything. Then the umi tenjor, the nga, the mingda. I don't know how to formulate even the question I have, so let's just move on.
Okay.
Did that answer your question? Did I even answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You answered my question.
Okay,
right
good.
from the beginning.
Serves as a basis of designation. So it doesn't say it's suitable to serve as a basis of designation. It merely says serves as a basis of designation. So then you would say, is it valid cognition or not valid cognition? And that wouldn't have anything to do with emptiness. That would have to do with how you prove if something is correct valid cognition or not. And then that would get into, well, does the world say that's a dog or a human? And that's where it would get into the valid cognition and the correct naming. So the correct naming would just be in the name according to what the world, and it still isn't the object. So that's how the Prasangika, it's always just a name. So when we say suitable, that's just kind of parenthesis because it really is just serves as a basis of designation. It doesn't say serves as a suitable basis of designation. Just to make sure that the definition's correct. Yes, Stasha.
Thank you for the teaching today, Rinpoche, Jeff translating. Rinpoche said that the middle way autonomy believes that there's a thingness to an object when it is apprehended by the consciousness, correct?
Yes, that it takes both the consciousness and the object's thingness
So
to bring it into being. Yes.
When that thing is not being apprehended by a consciousness, does it have a thingness, or what do they?
According to the autonomy school,
it still does without the consciousness.
yes, because the autonomy school says that conventionally that thing has intrinsic existence of a car.
Even when it's not being apprehended by a consciousness.
Rinpoche, the Umaran Jupa, the Mota Gunzo Rawanda Drupa. The Mota Gunzo Demba Rawanda Drupa. Then the Daken Mayina, the Gunzo Demba the Rawanda Drupa Yurube. So no, it requires both. It requires both. So there's always has to be a simultaneous. It still doesn't make any sense. Rinpoche, the mota tanda the mota mambo yure, the kambashilo la mota yure. Then the tanda the umaran jupa the mota the kambashilo la gunzo rawan the drupa.
Yes.
Nga ming da mena the gunz the chuchen the mota chuchen the gunzo rawan the drupa the Umaranjupa.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to retract my previous statement. And there is, I said the cars outside. Do the Middle Way Autonomy School believe that those cars outside conventionally have intrinsic existence? And he said yes. But in order for us to even talk about it, then we're naming it. You know what I mean? Like, how does it even... Like the tree falling in the woods, if no one's there to hear it, did it flat? It's kind of, we're doing that right now. Like if there's no like consciousness apprehending it, the ngatsu de sem, the mota salomadana, mota yure. Kangisena mota yoba, mota mepa yomare. Tanda kamba shilola mota yure. Ngatsu salomadana, mota yure. Salodana mota yure. Dene the Ranjupa, Sampa, Rawanda Drupa, the Mota Kanga, Gunzo Rawanda Drupa, Salo Madana, Mejenda, Ngatsu, Salo Madana, the Mota Kuna, Ngatsu Salo Yomare, the Mota Kuna, the Rawanda Drupa?
Don't do it.
Okay, yeah, so it is. The car out there has conventional intrinsic existence. The car out there. According to the Middle Way Autonomy School. But he's saying in order for us to perceive it, it has to take the car and us. But not for it to be sitting outside. Because it exists. I said, if none of us in this room think about a car, they're still outside. I said, are those cars that I'm talking about right now that none of us are thinking about conventionally intrinsically existent? He said yes. So that's how we arrived there. I said those cars outside that none of us are thinking about. Okay, next. That we're all thinking about, though. That's interesting, though.
A question for Nima.
If it
He does
takes
sing.
both. Okay, go ahead.
So these teachings that we're reading right now are obviously incredibly kind of complex, And they're
I don't
meant
know
for
what any of
people-
it said.
Yeah, I mean it's So I've spent time reading before I come because I like
Yes.
to get a little bit, maybe a little whisper of some understanding so that we gain a little more while we're here.
Yes.
So it gets back to the idea of we've asked this to Rinpoche before, where should we be spending our time?
Yes.
And so my question is, how does he know where he should spend his time, on his path?
Rinpoche.
No, Nima.
Nima. Okay.
Yeah, so how does he know, and what does he do? So, and how would we know what is best suited for our path? If we're saying it's intuitive, but we don't really have an accurate perception of our cycle, how would we know really, it should be on merit or wisdom, and what parts of wisdom we should be applying ourselves for?
Right.
So I think about even the Buddhist path. He was doing things in his last human birth that wouldn't have necessarily been taught to be the correct path to Buddhahood. Right? He's being an ascetic. He's doing things that he would not ascribe for us to do.
Right.
So but that's exactly what he had to do to get there.
To negate those wrong views.
To get there. So how do we know what we should be focusing on? And again, is it merit? Is it wisdom? Is it because we don't know, right? That knowledge isn't carried forth from our previous existence about where we're at, right? The Buddha didn't know where he was at that point in time, or he wouldn't have done, he obviously was very far along, and yet he was doing things that wouldn't be indicative of someone who was there. Or actually it was, because that's what happened, but that's not what he would probably teach, right? He wouldn't say being an ascetic is part of the path that you need to.
Definitely not.
So,
and that was more, if you look at it according to our view, that was a teaching on those things aren't part of the path.
Right.
The Buddha was teaching that asceticism, he did all that to teach that it doesn't work.
But I know we've talked about this before,
because
whether he actually
Mahayana
gained that
view is that
enlightenment.
Buddha was already enlightened.
Yeah, I know, right. But anyway, so back to the question, how did he know? What does he do?
Yeah.
How should we?
I think it's going to be a lot. One thing that, and I'm going to ask him 100%, is that the Tibetan way of going about doing things and the Western way is so different. They're so comfortable with just vague understanding and just doing the best and just kind of slowly learning things and doing like a whole prayer and then just kind of maybe focusing a little on love and compassion more and just doing like the same thing every day for 20 years, the same prayer, and just kind of like, they don't have this, it's a little different. Geshe La, the ngatsu the Lamrim, the tanda the Lamrim, sheda kali kapudu, the shine latong Chenmo, the Lamrim Chenmo kali kasho. Dene the ngatsu the Lamrim, the mambo yure, jantro, dang, dendel yenla juni, dang, nepa jonwa, dang, doni dopi shera, dang, the sheda mambo yure, then the megewa ju pombit sutrim. Dene ngatsu kanga sem chipa yomare, chiran sem, dan nge sem, dan kon sem, chipa yomare. Dene the chirang the lam nga kabiyare kandre gutsogudu. Dene nima dakpar chirang nampichu nyamlen chegudu. Dene the chirang kandre nga tering e ninji gomjadu. Chikshena tering e tomba ni gonjagare. Chikshena sani nge shamba gonjagare. Dene chirang kuna chirang the kandre gutsogudu. The tambo nipa sumba the gangin sena ngatsu sem kanga kakare. Dene nga the gari pensho. Nga ninji saladan pensho. Shambat saladan pensho. Doni saladan pensho. Dene chirang kandre gutsogudu.
Nga sana tanda da karaya lawara. Tati su san tanya dero ngaran rabuchin san tanya de shenpen jia jiro. Shenpen san tanya de yashiro tongdus.
Dene the kandun becha yurebe nima dakpar chirang kandun chipa dangdue.
Kane yore yore.
Dene the then chirang kandu dana the gonja due.
Gon san jore.
Sansan jadu. Dene the lo gatsudu the kandun chipa danso. Lo gatsudu. The
Kane
nishu sa. Gangin sena the inji dunta chi. Napichu lobjun shena konso tsampa ngatsu kepa chason. Dene the konso the lo ju lamsam namsam lo. Konso tsampa the gupa garshene lo ju lamsam namsam lobjun she. Lamsam namsam sheda chunchun. Then ngats the inji tsalo dang pupi tsalo dets kakare. Then ngatsu tsalo sheda duchadu yapi omare. Ngatsu the solang dakpar gu the julang. Ngatsu the shortcut the julang sheda gapodu. Then chiransu tsampa the jewa mambo. The nge jewa shema nge pakchasha pupa tsalo. Inji the salo dang amare say di kunat salo dang. Then konso sampa the say di nge sanje. Say di sanje. Then a lam garyakshu. Say di sanje. Then a okay. So Geshe La said that. Then the lo gatsu lo nishu sanga kandun chipa.
Kane luchu ne ya jere ne ya dene ya songchun de shu dene jero kane teba
Bless up. So he has a number of prayers that he's been doing for decades, that he reads every day, and that he's over the years in these decades received teachings on, and as a result of reading these over and over again, and it enhances his knowledge and makes him kind of curious more about certain areas of it. As he reads it every day, he becomes more curious of certain things than others and investigates them. And when he gets a teaching on them, it opens it up even more. So then he knows, investigates it further. So he said it's just an ongoing process of as a monk, he was given prayers and a curriculum, and so it's just a matter, he said, of thinking. He said, I think for myself what I need to work on, because I know I don't know that much, or I don't behave that way, because all day I'm thinking about how I'm behaving. So it's just being mindful and knowing who you are, and just That's how the Tibetans do it. And I was saying to him that we as Western Tibetans are very comfortable with, in many lifetimes later, I'll achieve this or that. I'll become a bodhisattva in 10 or 100,000 lifetimes later. We're very uncomfortable with that. We want to know how to do it now. Like we think we read the Lamrim Chenmo and we're like, okay, all right, we did the refuge part, we did this part, and it's really like, I know that for myself, I haven't had the realization of even refuge, like the door into Buddhism. Like, as if I did, I wouldn't do a lot of the things that I do in life. I wouldn't run to things to make me happy. I would just run to Buddhism always. Because I would take refuge, like going for refuge, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And then something comes up, and this the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I might be like, help me! But that's about it. Like the rest, I just run to every other means of happiness than the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. You know what I mean? So it's just a very slow process, and it's tough because we as Westerners can just read this and know, just read this book. A Tibetan would literally need to read a paragraph and then be explained it, because the words aren't the same as just regular speaking. Like you need a teacher to explain everything. Every single bit of this, a Tibetan would require a teaching on. Every bit of it. Like there's no, that chapter we just read wouldn't, I mean, even the first book, they wouldn't. So it's a struggle I found for myself, is that I want to know, like, where's the best? What's the best place? Then what's the best place that I can begin? I've asked at least 10 teachers this. Same thing. And they say, well, you have to see, everybody's mind's different. Read this prayer every day. In 5 years, they talk in such long terms that my impatience just can't handle. But I've just learned over the years that I'm just not going to get it. And I've become more okay with that.
So even as a monk, it's more of an internal process than a teacher is directing?
They're not grooming them.
At all?
No. Not like you would think, like, okay, like Daniel-san. Like, no. I thought that too. Like, I got to no. They teach them the paragraph. You have any questions about that paragraph? No? Okay. And then they will give them certain initiations and stuff, but they don't guide them through tantric practice or anything like that. They will answer questions, but never say okay, do this every single day and you'll be all better. Never. Unless it's like, I have this disease, and then they'll prescribe a mantra or something like that. But in terms of a whole practice, the Rinpoche, the Inji Mambo, the Triwa de Yure, the Nyamlen Gari Yakshu, Tambo, Nipa, Sumba, Jipa, Ngapa, Dene, Nge Sanje. Then the Lenja, make Ngatsu Kanga, Pakcha, Kakare. Then the Gegen, the Getru, Nishu, Sumju, the Gegen, Trichi, the Getru, Kanga, Kakare. Then the Chiran Lap Kashe, Kom Pentogdu, Chiran Lap Kashe, Nga Pendogdu. Ine Kanga Pento Yomare, Gangin Senangatsu Pakcha, Kakare. I was saying to Rinpoche that all of our imprints are different. Everyone in this room has a different continuum. So even in the course of one teaching, this part I might get something from, and this part you might get something from, and that part she might get something from. And that's because we have different continuums and different imprints that are going to latch on to certain things. And then some people would go to a class and wouldn't get anything whatsoever out of it, because the imprints aren't connected in any way. So I was saying to Rinpoche that there's only one teaching going on. There's not some mystical thing happening where Rinpoche is emanating as 10 teachers and telling you all different things. That's not what's happening. There's one teaching going on, and that's why it's so hard to become a Buddha, because they're just a perfect prescription we're not going to have in front of us. We don't have the karma for that. Necessarily. If we did, we'd all just become a Buddha instantly. If a Buddha could just give us that, then we'd become a Buddha instantly because of the Buddha's great compassion. But that's why it's so hard to become a Buddha, because it's so subtle and there's so many parts to it. And it's like, where to begin? I've been asking where to begin forever. And they say, where are you? And then I don't know where I am at. And then they say, well, sounds like the beginning of the Lamrim. And then I don't like that, because that's like boring. You know what I mean? Meditating on the excellent qualities of the Buddha and meditating on the excellent qualities, But that's what allows you to become invested enough, I guess, to do the whole thing. To build the faith. That's really the foundation, to have enough faith to believe that even though you don't know, that it makes sense. Anybody? We have a lot of time. Trio Yomari, Rinpoche,
Okay.
Chiran Salangari be. Tsar.
Okay.
Rinpoche guza depian be. Tana kali kasun.
Do the
Okay. All right, so we want to end? Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody. That chapter, though, was so difficult. It really was. Without studying, because the Lama Tsongkhapa in that chapter is not really explaining the Svatantrika and the Prasangika view. He's really just arguing the views and what would be wrong to think about them. But if you don't have a working knowledge of what it is, and what it is huge, then that it's very much not so helpful. Like, I can read that, and if you don't tell me that's the misinterpretation part, I'll read it and be like, oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah, so that's the way it is. And I could go weeks thinking that if you just scratch that out and put the correct view. So, the kalika this nge segadu the sheda kalikapu do this shine dan lato. The mambo Lama Tsongkhapa the luta mambo kagadu. Yine the nge the ripa sheda yapayo mare then sansang nge the logdu then it nge sampa the Lama Tsongkhapa dawa. The nge sampa the dundun then Lama Tsongkhapa the kagadu then nge. Okay. The becha sheda pentogudu rimche ngatsu. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Yatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denronang. Matsu Lamrim Chenmo Konga Chironang. Aram Chenmo Konga Chironang. Sawa Share